It is, of course, the second leg of the Champions League semi-final at Stamford Bridge as they take on Chelsea. 1-1, the scoreline, of course, going into that tie, Sid. I suppose, from a Real Madrid perspective, you'll go, look, there's no way we can be as bad as we were in the first leg, as Frank Leboeuf joins us as well. Pay attention, Frank. Than we will in this second leg in London.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Of course, what Real Madrid know is that they have to score. I think you're right that they will feel that they can't be as bad in the first leg. But I think the overriding kind of emotional response to the first leg isn't so much we can't be this bad again. I think it's even more basic than that. It was, wow, they didn't kill us off. And we go back to what I was saying at the very start, Dan, that idea that if you do not kill Real Madrid off, if you do not bury them, and you know, put 1,000 nails in their coffin and bury it as deep as you possibly can, they're coming back. They're coming back for you. And now this is no guarantee, but I think Chelsea know that. And actually, if you listen to Cesar Azpilicueta, who spoke after the game to Spanish television, he made this point. And I just wonder if emotionally Chelsea at some level realise that they've missed a golden opportunity, which isn't to say they won't get another one. But I think emotionally Madrid are now in a position that it's almost like, well, we've got an extra throw of the dice that we weren't expecting to get, so let's go and do it.
Frank, take us through those emotions as a player from both sides.
Everybody goes through those emotions, and they all know where they're at. And in fact, you know, if you are a Real Madrid player, as Sid said, they didn't kill us, so we have a chance to go through because we're still alive. And they're going to go for it because they have the experience, because they believe in themselves. And as Sid said, if you don't bury Real Madrid coffin deep enough, they're gonna come out. And it's what happened so many times. In Chelsea perspective, they know what they did there. They know they were more superior to Real Madrid. They showed it during the game, but they did what they, you know, barely did all the season long, missing the chances that they had to score goals. But they kept on doing. They're strong defensively. They know they can kill Real Madrid very quickly if they have a chance to. But they will have to think that they can do it. They will have to be sure they can do it. Otherwise, if they just wonder a bit, they're gonna be smashed back.
Sid, let's talk about the team news regarding Real Madrid. Would Eden Hazard start? Where are we on Mendy and Sergio Ramos as well?
Well, Sergio Ramos will travel. He'll be in the squad. My initial thought was that Ramos almost certainly wouldn't start, but the fact that there's been an injury picked up by Rafael Varane now makes me think I think there's a reasonable chance that Ramos will start. How fit he is, I think is a big question. Whether he's genuinely ready, I have my doubts, I must admit. But I think he may well have to because, of course, they're missing a right back. They're now missing a centre back with Varane out. They don't even have Fede Valverde. At least we don't think so, but we're waiting for the results of his PCR. Hazard, I think, will start, and I think he will probably start up front in a 2 with Karim Benzema.
Could be his day of redemption, Sid.
Well, it could well be. And, of course, this is what everybody's been waiting for. I must admit, and I could try and be careful how I say this because there is a risk of it sounding cruel. I think one of the things that Real Madrid did well 2 or 3 months ago was stop waiting for Hazard. And the reason I say that is not because waiting for Hazard's a bad idea, because, of course, he's a fantastic player. We've seen what he did in England. But I think one of the things that tended to happen over the last year and a half was that there was a desire to get him back. So he was rushed back quickly. He was put in the team as soon as he was ready. There was this kind of sense that everyone else who played was just there to hold the place until Hazard turned up. And as soon as he was ready, he would go back into the team. This time round, I think, was slightly different emotionally in terms of how they handled it. Right, we don't wait for him. When he's back, and then we look at it. But until then, everyone gets on with it. And we started to see better performance from Marco Asensio, who'd been really, really poor for a lot of the season. We started to see better performances, albeit still erratic, from Vinicius. You started to see occasional appearances, although not very many, from Rodrigo. And so you start to get other players taking responsibility. I think what makes this different this time is they've taken longer about it. They've been absolutely certain before they put him back in. And there were signs at the weekend that there's something there from Hazard. Now, we all know the talent that he's got. But the truth is, at the Real Madrid, we just haven't seen it. And this is why I think one of the ways of looking at this is to say that Eden Hazard hasn't been bad at Real Madrid. He just hasn't been there. And he really hasn't. He's been almost entirely irrelevant in his time at Real Madrid. And as you say, this now is the perfect opportunity to say, oh, by the way, this guy who cost 100 million euros or 160 million euros, according to the Belgian press, this guy who was going to be a superstar, actually, he's still quite good.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.